Hey Michael, so I'm going to show you how to make the graphs using Google Sheets. So if I'm making a graph for the salt concentration versus the change in mass, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight salt concentration, Control C to copy it, and then I'm going to place it somewhere else by itself. And I'm going to do the same thing for change in mass. I'm going to select it, Control C, and then Control V, and now I have them right next to each other. If I select this area, and then I go into Insert and Chart, it's going to take that area that I highlighted and it's going to put it into a graph for me. So now I have change in mass versus salt concentration, and it's set up how I want. I want salt concentration on the bottom and I want change in mass on the y-axis. Right now it shows me these dots. I can change that by going to chart type. I can make it a line graph if I wanted to, or I could make it a bar graph. The nice thing, the reason you might want to do a bar graph is because it's not necessarily over time. So usually line graphs are over time. However, by using a line graph, I'm able to see where the line intersects at 0. And remember, for the potato lab, where it intersects at 0 tells me that osmosis is dynamically taking place where there's not going to be a change in mass. And that tells me that there's that much salt in the potato. So for this data, it tells me that the concentration of salt in a potato is about 0.15, 0.125 maybe. So that is how I get that information. If it's gaining water over here, it tells me osmosis is taking over and water is being added into the potato. If it's down here where it's losing mass, it tells me that water is being sucked out of the potato and into the solution to try and balance out the concentration of salt in the water versus inside the potato. I would do the same thing for, if I move this over, when I find the percent change, which I explained in the email, I'm going to do the final mass minus the initial mass divided by the initial mass times 100. I can make a new column here if I wanted to, and I would fill in those numbers as I find them. Then I would copy this over just like you did for this. So instead of change in mass, you'd have percent change in mass. I hope that helps. Let me know if it's still a little confusing or if you want any more help.